where I'm going to tell you what to do when somebody's irritated and lets out the irritation on you. This happened to me twice now in a row, and I want to tell you how I dealt with it both times. So the first time happened about 2 weeks ago. I just moved temporarily for the summer someplace else, and I was setting up a post office box. And the clerk there was so unfriendly, and I had obviously some questions about how the system worked and where the box would be and all of that. And he was so irritated with me and so angry, and I didn't say anything. I just took it, and eventually I stepped away and went to a different teller who was free. And then he kind of did this double take, and I said, "This guy's so unfriendly, I want to work with you." And that kind of flustered that lady because, of course, she doesn't want to get into an argument with this other teller. So anyway, I created a little issue there between those two, but the lady was very friendly. She helped me, and I got out of there within about 10 minutes and felt very irritated and rattled inside. And so I was with a friend, and you know how it is. When you get rattled, when you get irritated, it's very easy to then let that irritation out on another person, which is, I'm sure, what this post office teller did. He somehow was irritated about something in his life, and he let it out on the people that he serviced as a post office teller, which obviously is not okay. You can't bring your personal stuff into your job and then let it out, let your frustration out on your customers. I mean, that's just absolutely unacceptable. Anyway, I then got really irritated with my friend who was with me, who of course was also innocent, like I was innocent with the teller. And so luckily I caught myself very quickly. My friend is very patient, so he didn't say anything, but I caught myself very quickly, and I stopped, and I realized, holy moly, I'm so irritated and angry, and I took on this guy's stuff. I was fine. I was happy. I was excited about being in this new place and getting a post office box. And after that encounter with this irritated person, I was irritated. I took on his stuff. So I told my friend, I just realized we are all programmed since generations. We are not allowed to say things when something is wrong. We're supposed to just take it, and we're supposed to just play small, and we're not allowed to call out people when they do something that's not right. And I've had an awakening. I've worked on myself for decades, and yet still I am bound by certain programmings that are very old, and particularly it belong to a female programming, that you don't say anything, you just smile, and you just take it, and you leave things. Don't make a mess of things, don't create a problem out of nothing when you don't have to, all of that kind of thing. So anyway, I told my friend, I realized what I did was I took on this guy's energy without really consciously knowing I was doing that. And then it was in me, and then I let it out, and I can express. What I needed to do, I needed to stop. As soon as I noticed he's irritated and he's letting his irritation out on me, I need to stop and call him out. I need to say, why are you irritated? Have I done something to irritate you? Not from a place of anger, because at that point I wasn't angry yet. If I would have called him out as soon as I noticed he's putting his stuff on me, he didn't really put it on me. He just was very rude. He was very irritated. He was very unfriendly. And so, okay, yeah, I mean, we all have these days. But I, as a customer, don't have to take it. That's why I moved to another teller. But anyway, I realized, if at the very moment I notice this guy's angry and it's affecting me, I cannot stay calm. I get irritated inside myself. So that is obviously my programming. That is what I then do. I need to stop right there and say, why are you irritated? Or are you irritated? Are you angry with me? Have I done something to upset you, that you are not friendly with me? Something like that, to stop that energetic flow that in this case came from the teller, I could have stopped it with my saying something to call it out, to mention it, to bring it to his attention. And then he could have said, oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware of it, or yeah, I'm angry, I don't want to be here, or whatever. He would then have a chance to explain to me why he was angry with me. And then I don't take anything. Then it would have remained with him. But in that situation, I didn't do it, but I called myself right away within a minute or so. And when I was putting my anger then on my friend, and then decided next time that happens, I will call out that person instantly as soon as I notice the person is getting irritated or is irritated, and I'm taking it on. It's affecting my presence, my awareness, my inner equilibrium that now is making me get irritated. So today, I had the chance to try that out. I went to a fitness center and was very excited about it. I had researched it, and there was this woman trainer that was supposed to meet me at that fitness center. And yes, indeed, she met me, and she was very friendly at first. But apparently the owner of the center asked her to just book me for half an hour to show me around. And the owner of the center had told me it would be 1 hour, so I would actually be shown how the weight machines worked and how I could use them. So when she said, okay, she was showing me around at first, and then when she was ready to end the session after about 20 minutes, I said, we're scheduled, you're supposed to show me the training machines, and that's triggered her. That's when she got angry. She irritated. She wasn't until that point, but in that point, my mentioning that actually you were supposed to be with me for an hour and you've only spent 20 minutes with me, that triggered her. Apparently, she, of course, had something else planned and couldn't spend an hour with me, but I expected it, so now she felt bound. Now, I let that initial irritation go. I asked her if she had 10 more minutes to just show me some machines, and she said she would. And I asked her initially if she would show me particular machines that would work for what I want to work on to improve my health. And I wanted to tell her what that was. And so she never gave me the chance to explain it. She then just moved on kind of like a bulldozer forward and started to show me the first machine, how it worked. And she didn't even ask what I needed. So she had no idea what I wanted or needed. And even if I had injuries or something that she needed to be aware of as my trainer, that she doesn't potentially hurt even more. So none of that. She was totally not present. After I triggered her, or what I said triggered her, she was gone. Her awareness was no longer present. She was no longer with me. She was now in her own thinking mind. She was now triggered in her programming. And of course, I could feel it. And she showed it very clearly that she was now irritated. And so when I asked her the second time, I want to tell you what what my issues are physically and what I would like to work on, she got even more irritated that now she even had to spend time on that when she already told me she had no time. So anyway, that triggered her even more. She got even more irritated. And that's when I said, no, I'm not taking that. And then I said, why are you irritated? Just the simple sentence, why are you irritated? I hadn't lost my cool. I was still in presence. I was still totally fine. I was still right there in my own center, vibrating my own high level energy. I hadn't taken on anything from her because I called her out as soon as I noticed it's too much. I will not take more of her irritation. And then instantly she said, oh, I'm not irritated. I'm fine. There's nothing wrong. I happily show you around. So instantly, as I called her out, she probably wasn't even aware she was irritated. When I called her out, that pulled her out of her programming, and then she could be again present and nice the way she had been. But by then, I'd had enough. I don't want to work with somebody who is so unconscious and is not willing to devote just the 30 minutes in a real concerted, present awareness with a new client that she was commissioned to help. So I said, this, I don't want to work with you, and I don't want to work at this center. This doesn't seem right, the way you operate here with new clients. And so I left. I took on nothing. I was in total internal presence. My awareness was clear. I was clean. The interaction was clean. It was all on her. I didn't take anything on. I wasn't irritated or angry. And so I wanted to give this particular to all of my female women listeners, video watchers, YouTube video watchers. I want to give you this clue, because we are not trained how to deal properly when we meet people that are irritated. And you may have noticed, like I have noticed, people are getting more and more irritated all the time. People are stressed out. I mean, financially, things are getting hard. Job-wise, things are getting hard. Driving on the street is getting hard. People are not paying attention. Everyone is on a cell phone. Everyone is texting. So I want to help you remain in your own center, in your own presence, in your own inner communion with the divine, if you are able to hold that on a regular basis, which is, of course, what I attempt to teach and share with my work. When you come across anyone that is irritated, so you may feel totally fine, and suddenly you're opposite. Somebody that's irritated can be a teller at a grocery store. It could be, like in my case, a trainer at a gym, or a post office clerk, or it could be a family member. It could be your partner, it could be your child, it could be your grandma, it could be anybody. As soon as, so you have to start being aware, and you have to make a commitment first that your awareness is able to make you aware in the moment when it's happening, when you need to implement this little tool I'm sharing with you. As soon as you notice somebody's irritated, it's not yours. You haven't done something to irritate them. They're just irritated for some reason, which, we all are. This is part of life. When you notice that their irritation affects you, where you either become flustered or scared or irritated yourself or angry, if you raise your voice, if you don't know what to say, a lot of women go silent. They lose their voice. They no longer can speak. When you notice any of those, these are survival instincts. Yeah, these are ancient instincts. Animals have those too. When you notice they come up, anger, fear, being silenced, wanting to run away, wanting to get away, you want to say to that person in front of you, why are you irritated? Just a simple sentence like this. You can say something else that comes to you in the moment. It may not be irritated. You could say, why are you angry? Have I done something to make you angry? Something to deflect that energy, so it's no longer coming to you. You have made a very clear commitment and statement that you are not willing to take it. And so with that statement, you have sealed off your own energy field, so you can remain, your awareness can remain present with you, and your animal instinctual survival programming of your body that your body is wired with doesn't get triggered. And then you just have to wait and see what the person is saying. They may say, like in my case with this training, the trainer today, she said, oh, I'm not irritated at all. I'm totally fine. Oh. So she just changed. Her voice completely changed. Her demeanor changed. Her face changed. So if the other person doesn't change and remains irritated, which of course is also possible, then you can say, if you're like me at the post office teller, I'm just going to go to a different teller. I don't really want to deal with your irritation or whatever. You remove yourself. You don't have to stay. We as women, but I will speak to men in a moment, but we as women don't have to keep allowing that programming that we inherited as part of the female species of human women to take anger or irritation or grouchiness or even violence. We don't have to take it. If somebody gets harsh with you because something you said, and you notice this is too much, this is going over my boundary, I no longer feel safe, I no longer feel comfortable, speak up. instantly. Do not allow 1 inch more into your energy field, because you will be affected. And once your survival instincts are triggered, it's the fight. You either get angry, you want to attack, you want to go against. Flight, you want to flee, you want to run away. The situation is not good, you want to get away. Play dead, which is, of course, a lot of animals play in the wild, which means we get silent. For women, we just lose our voice. We have nothing. Nothing comes to us as far as what to say when we are being triggered into our survival instinct. And the other one is tend and befriend, which I've seen that with animals too. In a horse herd, for instance, the horse that is being attacked and being shown you have a lower place in the herd than me, the horse will bow the head and will do this movement with the lips. So it's a tend and befriend, which for women will look like, oh, we're gonna make this person nice towards us. We're gonna be friendly. We're gonna be extra sweet. Tend and befriend. Be aware. Learn which are the survival strategies that you use in your life automatically when you get triggered into a fear situation where your fight and flight adrenal response is surfacing automatically, chemically triggered, and you then as soon as you are triggered into it, you are then stuck in that survival mechanism. It's much harder to get out of it, much easier to notice as it's starting up. So you have to learn what that is for you. What is that starting up movement? What does it feel like? How is it appearing for me? And then you stop it before the survival instinct is triggered, because then you're staying in your center. Then you are able to stay calm. You can stay neutral. You're not going to be affected. You're able to speak normal voice. You can call things out as they are, and you're not hooking into the survival instinct that is running with the other person. Because anybody who is irritated, who is angry, who is getting violent, who is getting loud, they have already been triggered. They are now in their survival programming, and it's very hard to get out of that. So by you calling it out as soon as you notice it, the quicker you're able to de-escalate and keep yourself in a safe place, and also in a sane place, because you will keep your own energy with you. And you will remain happy and at peace and linked to the higher guidance of your divine wisdom. And you won't get pulled into somebody else's stuff, which is what we as humans naturally do. This is how we have been raised. Particularly women have been raised to live their lives like this. And so that's my recommendation. Use that sentence or another one that is more right and more appropriate to whatever situation you're finding yourself as, is, why are you irritated? Have I done something to irritate you? Please let me know. Yeah, something like that. Now I want to speak to men, because men do also encounter people who are irritated. They have their own way of dealing with it. They are not taking on energies of other people as quickly as we do, as women do. We are wired much more to do that than men are. But men have been, now for the last 2 or 3 decades, there's been a lot of men shaming going on, where men are not allowed to speak up anymore. So women, very often, doesn't happen so much between other men, because men between men, how the rules work and what you can and cannot say, and they escalate very quickly into violent behavior for some men. So men have a kind of a hierarchical understanding of how far you can go with interacting from an irritated place. And if like in my friend's case, he wouldn't have felt anything with this teller. He wouldn't have felt irritated. He would just, okay, that he just has a bad day. My friend would not have been affected by that at all. As a woman, I was. And I know if you as a woman are listening, you know exactly what I mean, because it happens to you, I'm sure, often, if not most of the time. Now, for men, I think very important when women are often very rude with men. I have seen this now a lot, and I don't like it. I don't like when women are rude to men. It's not appropriate. Men don't deserve it. Just random men, if they are like this teller at the post office, there is women that come up and are very rude to him. Other places too, I have seen waiters, for instance, shop attendants. As a man, you kind of have been cut in the knee a lot in these last 3 decades, where what you say doesn't count, and women are so much more important, and you really should be quiet and defer to the women. That's toxic, very, very toxic. So we need to assist women to speak up and men to speak up. Everybody has to speak up when somebody is rude to them and is not dealing in a humane, kind way with another human being. Men also need to speak up, and it's the same way. All you have to say is, why are you rude? Or are you irritated? Have I done something to irritate you? You will find your own words for each appropriate situation. But I want to encourage men to not allow women to trample over you and be mean and rude to you, especially women that you don't know, that are a customer, somebody that you just meet and you are somehow supposed to help or service in some way. Do not allow women to treat you with disrespect and irritation and anger or haughtiness. No man deserves that from anyone. And we need to reverse a lot of that programming that has gone into how men are supposed to accept women's rudeness. I don't agree with it. Nobody is supposed to accept anybody's rudeness. And I'm hoping that this video of my experience with 2 rude people, 1 woman and 1 man, and how I was affected, will help the men who are watching my videos and the women who are watching my videos. And if you have questions, I welcome you to post them below this video. I will look through them and I will respond. I have also below this video listed how you can look at my work. I have written 5 books, visual books, where I explain what I just shared about programming in a very dynamic way, because I show you with visuals what's going on internally that very often with thoughts and with words is hard to explain and understand. So check out my work. I also offer personal release work of programming that you have inherited and being conditioned to, that you live out. If that's something that interests you, check out my work and let me know if I can be of assistance. All right, so this is number 1 of this new series. And anytime I come across something new that I think would be helpful to you, that I personally experienced, that I then reprogrammed and did in a different way, I will share it with you.